Hi, welcome back to the channel. I'm Anna.
And my name is Isaac.
Today we're gonna do a review on the Rogue Echo Rower. We got it about 6 months ago. So we're gonna go over some pros and cons. A pro of the rower is it's able to be stored anywhere, how it folds. So any corner, you can even store it under the garage. On the C2, if I stored it near the garage, since it didn't, unless it was detached, it just had to stay straight up, the garage door would force it down and it would fall. That's how I would remember I put it in the wrong spot.
Happened several times.
Okay. All right. So that would be a pro. One of the cons I feel is trying to get this open. You got to put your foot up on the little pedestal thing here and then you pull, but you got to protect it with your shoulder. But you seriously have to put some oomph in it. After that, pull it down. You're holding the foot pedal, push it down. You're going to lift it. Okay, so I just struggle with it. Okay, another part of this, which I do like, but this is also a pain in the ass to get off, stops the seat from when you put it back. I broke this before, so they replaced it for free, which I thought was really cool. And then the face of this only extends that far, but you don't really need it past that. But the actual monitor moves up and down. I think it's helpful to store this on the back of your rower. Most likely you'll lose it or break it like I did. All right, so get yourself in these foot pedals. Same thing as the C2, you know, wherever you're comfortable. The straps are super heavy duty, so the C2 are very thin. So you don't want to be really messing with this if you're in any type of competition because they're also very strong to adjust in and out.
All right, well, obviously this is a learning time for Anna too. So one of the pros of the Rogue Echo Rower is that it has these belts that are quick release. So to avoid the problem that she's been having for the past 6 months, they do have these clips right here on the bottom so that you just kind of put it to wherever you're comfortable. So if she puts her feet in here, go ahead, put your feet in here. So she puts her feet in here where they're comfortable, and then she cinches them down. So once you have them set in, you set them where you want them. And then from here, like the beauty of the Echo Rower is that they have this part. So all you do with these is to get out of them is you just loosen that up. So now you're able to get in and out quickly of the rower. So that's one of the huge problems that they solve that we're learning together.
Are you going to edit that part out?
No.
Okay, I didn't know that. Okay.
Cool. So on this Echo Rower, one of the big things is they had their team do like a lot of research on it so that it is comparable 100%. The metrics are equivalent to the C2 rower. So what that means is it doesn't matter if you have the C2 rower or if you have the Echo Rower. In competition, they are scientifically going to pull the same. So one doesn't have an advantage over the other. They designed it so that it's the exact same as the C2 rower. So again, in competition, it's fair game. They don't all have to be the same. They did plenty of research on that as well. So on this one, I'll just talk about one of the things that I like about it. And this is coming from like the coaching side of it. But for me, the big one here is if you bring it in here, they have this little arrow here that you're able to move up and down. And what this does is depending on where you're at on your height, when you pull, the idea is that you want to make sure that that chain stays in the same place the whole time, and you want to avoid moving it out of that range. So just having that little tool right here is very valuable. And you could, again, if you're a little bit taller person, you could just move it up, but you could adjust it and it gives you a point of reference so that when you're rowing, you can make sure that that chain stays nice and level and you get good, even strokes every single time. It's kind of a way for you to correct your form while you're on here, on the rower. All right, so one of the cons to this this rower specifically is when you come over here and you push a button, nothing that you push will turn on the screen. So the only way to turn the screen on is you have to engage here the chain, and then it kind of kicks on the screen here. Screen is one of the pros, I would say. It's super easy to read, very basic. You can change the units. Not a lot of data going on. It just gives you the information that you need. The C2 is beneficial if you're really like dialing it in, but that's going to be more for like the professional rowers, people that are going to like really take that into consideration, like the power curve and things like that. So for a rowing or for your cadence or the everyday athlete or the garage gym athlete, just these basic screen is going to be all that you need. So what I'm going to do here is show you guys another pro of this Rogue device. So Rogue has an app where you can go and like download any kind of firmware updates straight from the app to this device. On the C2, they can push out some firmware for you, but then you have to grab your laptop, you have to hook it up. I don't even know what I did with that specific cord to it. It also has like a little training card that you can stick in and keep track of things. Again, it's more for like the rowing enthusiasts or people that are going to get really into it. So let's look at this one together. You download the Rogue app. Here it says scan for devices. All right, we got it. So it says Rogue console 00368, confirming it's the same one on here. We'll turn that on. Success, connect is successful. So on here you can see that it says available firmware v1.0.38. So all we're going to do is we're going to hit the update button here. So that's one of the huge, I thought it was pretty cool that you could just download the app and then just shoot over that firmware. I imagine you could do the same thing with the Rogue Echo Bike. Same thing that you could do here. If you have the Rogue clock, anything that Rogue has that's proprietary to them, you could download this app, find it on there, and then just shoot out some firmware updates. As simple as that. So that makes it a huge pro for me.
5 minutes later.
Cool. So then once it is done here, it shuts off. Let's open it back up. It has to reset the device, or I guess it's doing it on its own. So it shut off, it's resetting, Bluetooth upgrading. So now the computer is upgrading its system. While that's upgrading, we're gonna go ahead and Anna's gonna talk you through some of the other benefits of this device.
So let's just talk about how easy this handle is to access when you're on the rower. So you're locked in, you're rowing, you're noticing it's a little low. Come, switch it up, too high, switch it down. So I wouldn't even say it benefits taller or shorter people. It's very accessible to all people because how thick it is.
That's what she said.
The other benefit I would say are the wheels on this. So moving this place to place, even outside, I really love to go row outside. It's super easy to get there. On the C2, it was everything it hit, it would either stop the rower, bounce up and down, was not easy to move from place to place. It'd get even caught on the mats. This does not get caught on the mats. So the wheels are super easy to move and really beneficial to the rower. They say that this was added onto it. I don't use it. You know, you get in the rower and you're not really wanting to pull like that. You get in it, kind of want to pull in the middle. I should maybe start doing that more. I don't, but it was a benefit, another benefit, even putting it back. Because kind of, if you're in a comp or something like that, or in a rush, most of the time you would kind of like let it go and then it would come here. This time you could just grab it, put it in, get out.
Well, yeah, because most people, just stick their fingers. The C2 has just like those little bars. You have to stick your fingers in there.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
This one, they made it accessible because a lot of people do use it.
Oh, yeah.
So this one made it like a little bit more comfortable, or ergonomic.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna put this away. The number one thing you have to remember, pretty sure it's how I broke the clip, is lock the seat in first. So again, I told you, it's a little difficult to undo. Lock it in. I tend to do that. Don't do that. I just always think it's gonna fall off. Okay, so you're gonna pull, lift. Okay, I have a hard time. I should have put the screen in first. I have a hard time with this because it's fast. So you have to come here gently. If you're not, it's gonna slam down. Lock it in. Locks in. And then
Overbuilt, so you can just kick it around.
move the
People like
screen.
Anna.
Then, see, I got correct on that. Put your foot on there. Move it back to its spot. And you're good to go. That's it.
Cool. And then on here, you can see where she's grabbing. They make it pretty nice. So there's actual handles here for you to grab. And then on there, on the foot part, there's a nice little spot to put your feet on to grab it. Cool. So that's just a quick down and dirty, I guess, live review. We learned some stuff together. One thing that I do appreciate about Rogue in itself is that the fact that it is overbuilt, whether you like it or not, you can see how some people just need that overbuilt, i.e. kicking it into place instead of placing it in. It's overbuilt. I'm not worried about it. It's heavy duty. It literally looks like a tank. What? No, so like if you're on the fence about buying a rower for your gym, for your home gym, you do have the tried and true C2. However, I would 100% say go with the Rogue Echo Rower. Just the key points that we showed, it's overbuilt, like the handle, the way the handle feels, the seat feels in rows, that part of it, everything, the experience of being on the rower feels the same. Psychologically, I would say it feels a little bit more, you have a little bit more confidence because it feels like you're on a big, heavy machine. So it feels like it's going to be stable. There's been times when I'm rowing and I'm pulling really hard, being a big back that I am, it would pull, like the rower would move sometimes. I haven't experienced that with this. So yeah, if you're going to get a rower, what do you think?
I definitely recommend this rower.
I would agree. I would get this over the C2 rower for sure. Just the easy firmware updates, the way it feels is the same, the simplicity of it. They thought of everything, like all the problems that people came to them with the C2 rower, they fixed it, like simple handles in different places. It's the fine details that make it worth it.
I agree.
Cool, well that's it for this week's review. It's on the Echo Rower. Let us know if you guys have them, what you guys prefer. If you guys have any questions, leave them down in the comments below and we'll get to them as soon as we can. We do appreciate you guys leaving some comments, having those discussions. It's just really good for us. And then maybe we learn something from you guys that you've experienced that we didn't know, like the clips.
If you didn't know about the clips, give me a like, give me a comment. Somebody must not have known about those clips.
Cool, thank you. Have a good one. Like and subscribe.
Bye.